presents itself for both of these two. Mammoth probably come into this one maybe with some higher hopes off the back of their decent performance against Wildcard the other day, guys. So maybe we can kind of look at that a little bit and say that they might actually come into this as the favored team on the attack on Chalet. For NQS, disappointing stage, especially with the names on that team. Likes of Cake and President, they've been around the blocks. We probably expected by now they would have found a win, but evidently just not up to the task.
How many times do you reckon I could hit the balloon without letting it drop? I think I'm at about 14, 15.
Genuinely
16,
think it's not
17,
that difficult. You
18,
could probably do it for
19,
the entire game, but I would rather
20.
you focus on the bans.
Right.
Ying, Nook, taken off the board here. Not a surprise on this particular map, especially when we take into account there's going to be a lot of roaming. The Zami as well, very prevalent, pretty much on every map.
Yes. Final defensive ban will likely then line up to be the Valk or the Mirror. Neither, Solace, so I guess probably third in line.
It's one of the three, isn't it? Like 99%
At this point,
of the time.
90% of the time, yeah.
All right. Well, what have these two got, right? Like, I really don't want to come into this and just brush it aside. It's a nothing game. It doesn't matter. Firstly, $1,500 difference between last and second last. So there is a little bit of that prize pool that obviously is going to be impacting this result, depending on who finds a win. They're both on 1 point. There is a round differential between the two. I actually didn't quite say. I think it might have been Mammoth in last, based on round differential by about 6 or so. I could be wrong. You might want to fact check that. I can literally just check it. I was right. I was absolutely right. Bang on. So Mammoth probably with a tiny bit more incentive to get the win here. Helps out their round differential and obviously puts them into a position where they're then getting their first win for the season, which would be a great feeling for them. Mammoth, obviously 1 week to go. They play Carlton's Knights. NQS would then play Circular Spheres. So for both of these two teams, it probably is realistically their last chance to find a win. Probably.
7th versus 8th. 1,500 AUD to separate those two placements. So, an incentive, albeit small, for these two teams to show up.
And there's the pride factor, right? No one wants to finish last. And also there is that factor, depending on what these two teams want to do. I mean, any team that's going to finish in the bottom two is probably going to look at the roster and think, have we got what is the right pieces moving forward into stage 2? You know, there's a bit of time between stage 1, stage 2. Do you want to keep all 5 members? These are the kind of games as well where maybe if you haven't been performing well, you want to stand up. You want to obviously have a very good game to close out the stage, find a win.
Yeah.
Just keep things a bit positive in the camp.
Head on the chopping block if you've been performing poorly. An opportunity to maybe prove yourself that you do deserve a spot back for stage 2. There is that big gap between the two stages, so a lot can change. But
yeah,
you also want to finish on the best foot possible, considering the stage as a whole hasn't gone that well. Tiltec pressure. Piano window. Perhaps one of those players with his head on the chopping block, but he gets the first kill here for Mammoth.
Yeah, lowest rated player coming into this, I believe, or at least if not in the conversation, most definitely a 56 rating, 0.56. Shown over to the mezzanine. Pressure right now on Kakin is very paramount, and he will fall away from that mezzanine position. Vulcan Canister just out in the hallway there. And obviously library control now established for Chef Jeff. And Mammoth have done well, actually, in clearing a lot of the above. Good pressure over towards mezzanine, pressure over towards piano. Actually, I think they've done pretty well in clearing above. Obviously, now you'll make your way over towards solar, take trophy stairs. Then you've got the vert, clear above, and put pressure on site from there. Then you've got an Exi. Obviously, though, you've got the extra player. E1D goes out by Campo. So far, really well done for Mammoth. They've done everything right in a timely manner.
Yeah, they'll be happy with how things are tracking thus far, but there are a couple of defenders just lurking around. Kaken over towards bot library stairs. Realmers as well. Bot fireplace.
Who?
A new addition for the night, is it? I would have to double check the roster.
Did you just say Realmers?
What was I meant to say?
Reelers.
Reelers. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And definitely not a new addition for the
Yeah,
night.
sorry.
Too much celebrating. How much champagne did you have?
I had a couple sips. That's enough for me.
Bluto finds a second kill of the round. That's President will fall. 35 seconds left. NQS are getting torn to pieces here, really. They gave up Vert pretty comfortably. Kaken's come all the way back over to the mezzanine to maybe re-establish a little bit of Vert here for NQS, as Tiltec is still actually over in this position of office, and he will be watching and waiting And now actually swings from this window, but it's Kaken that actually finds the kill. First one in the round now for NQS, but unfortunately with that diffuser planted on the ground on site, very unlikely they're going to win this one, and Mammoth should get the opening round.
You would think so. From here, the post, not looking good for the defense. Time ticking down. And we can see on that overview the amount of control that Mammoth currently have in and around the side itself. Kaken sprays up above, but they need to drop down 3 seconds to get on that diffuser, and they're not even going to get within arm's length. Timed out, so now it's all for kills. And kills they are farming, but unfortunately, it won't be enough.
No time. Mammoth. Hold on, look at Tiltek. Pumped with that one. Hunter just covers his eyes. So on the board for Mammoth. And of the two teams, definitely the one I think, again, coming into this, slightly more expectation, I think, on them, based on the more recent performance that we saw against Wildcard. That sort of indicates that there is that sort of next level that they can potentially go to. But a disappointing stage for them, obviously with the new organization. NQS, though, at least did bite back towards the end of that round, but it was far too late. 2 kills for Kaken, 2-0. And they head to Snow White for the second round.
Yeah, we have seen Snow White really begin to navigate itself into
The game's a pro. Look at Tilt.
the meta. He's had a couple too many
Oh, what is
champagnes.
Kaken sinking there? No, I can't see, and I
a
don't
water.
want to see.
I think it was a water.
Water, yeah.
Water in a can. I think that's a thing, right? Maybe a sparkling water.
As long as it's non-alcoholic.
Are you a fan of the bubbly water?
Yeah, goes all right. What is on? Is that his like? Does he speak Japanese? I don't know.
Maybe. Could ask him potentially in an interview if they win.
I don't think they're going to win.
You don't?
No, I think Mammoth's going to win this one.
Okay.
Good start, clean, very precise in clearing above, and did a really good job of getting control of Mezzanine Piano really quickly. Direct here though, over towards the snow wall. Opens up very, very quickly here. That will be easy as you like. With the exothermic. Bit of help from the Thatcher of Chef Jeff. But now they can turn their attention, obviously, up above. Droned out. Reelers will fall away on the Oryx. 4 drones now gone for Mammoth. And Hunters somehow survives that. Reelers is not going to want to stick around, though, in that library corridor.
6 drones remain then for the attack as Tiltek getting a foothold over towards the library. So it's a sweep across and then down the map. Keeping in mind, again, it is basement. Let's make that clear. It isn't bar, for instance, where they're looking to get control down to that first floor. Defense reading into that. President playing contact.
President just got droned in.
Then falls off.
Good drone usage, though, from Mammoth. Yeah, a couple have been destroyed as well, but they've actually done a really good job of just forcing the pressure onto players like Prez and Reelers to sort of vacate some of these positions. Karma on the Mozzie. Not too sure if he caught any. I don't think he has thus far. 90 seconds left in the round. A lot of presence, though, still towards that north side for all 3 members of these NQS on different sort of levels. But Kaken and Reelers just going to tag team. 1 through Office, 1 through Piano. And looking to put pressure back over towards Library. Library stairs as well. This is actually pretty good from NQS. They find the kill onto Pluto. That's the fuse gone. Swing from Kaken. Successful. Job done. Really, really good job with the flank roam there from NQS to disrupt the attack of Mammoth. It's just sort of like a hit and run. Chef Jeff will make his way down Fireplace stairs. Holds behind the shelf.
Ooh.
And they sneak onto site. Knowing there's a couple roaming, they hit site very quickly off the back of that. Ping coming over towards Blue. Hunter. Oh, he got the down, and he realized that as he came back, he'll get the kill. Deserved. Chef Jeff watches now. In a 2 versus 3, Hunter wants to stick to plant, but he's a little bit precarious that he's going to get swung on. 1 bot library stairs. President, Karma's still above. And Hunter looking for a rotate and a reposition here on the plant potentially.
Well, they got spotted by the Oryx. Chef Jeff effectively 1v3, looking to cover the cross.
What a
Hits
shot.
the Nitro. Well, it's a good shot in return, though, from Karma. A 1v3. Hunter needs to try and get outside, but he gets shut down, and it's a pretty solid retake there from NQS. But really, a lot of the damage done top floor. 2 minutes into the round, they're fighting for Piano. Very one-dimensional from Mammoth.
Yeah. In fairness, though, they cleared out Piano, Mezzanine, forced them back, but it was NQS that actually came back. And we saw that with Reelers and Kaken. They came back for the flank roam. It was successful. They got a double kill and then just basically went all the way back over towards Solar and then down Trophy, West Main, and then eventually back towards site. Really, really well calculated roam from NQS, and it starts here. You get the kill onto Pluto. You find a second one as well, top library. That's Tiltec that falls pretty much for nothing. And then in the response, though, from Mammoth wasn't too bad. A little bit of a direct push in through Wine, find the kill, knowing that there's the roamers, so they've got some numbers on site that are somewhat even. Not a bad round from either of those two teams. I think the way they both played it, honestly, was kind of fine. Open up Snow very early, Library, Mezzanine, Piano, and then Site, and I don't think you can expect much more.
Yeah, I think it'll be a case if there is a reattempt, seeing Mammoth on that roam clear, perhaps just pincer from positions like Piano Window, Office, etc. Maybe up like through Trophy to Solar, because it was just that little bit one-dimensional. Either way though, 1-1 scoreline. So things staying close and competitive in this one. We rotate back to Dining round 3. Spawn peak, Tiltec. Needs to be careful as he crosses this line of sight. Or not cross the line of sight, which is probably even better.
Yeah, even better. Such a tricky map. So many windows to really peek from. I went in Solo actually got me the other night on the little vault up onto the garden bed, and then just standing in the windowsill. You can stand in it and you're like peeking out. That one got me.
Yeah. Dirty trick, that one.
I wasn't happy.
Did you get a bit upset?
I did.
I mean, you're not known to be an emotional guy.
No, I don't get tilted at all.
No, definitely not.
So slow and steady in the third round.
Good cross.
Oh, Pluto. Probably held the crosshair a little bit too close to the left, allowed that run through, rather than catching him halfway and then really hitting him. So Reelers makes it across.
Well, it pinches Reelers now. Yano needs to
hello.
lies, and that's exactly what happens. But it's actually Karma to get caught out. Now Reelers in a pinch, over towards Office, playing half wall. Very difficult to escape this position. No impact, and it's a nade on to Kaken. So Reelers now, his coverage, his protection has also fallen.
Yeah.
So he's in a really rough spot.
Well, President's made his way over. He rotates. He takes the position of Kaken. So it just sort of backfills that hallway position now. So Reelers can be a little bit safer. Reinforces this for NQS. Means Mammoth need to re-clear. Okay, 1-for-1. Reelers actually finding the kill. President, full control of Piano, looks to push up, re-establish and reaffirm their position. Chef Jeff down all the way down below. Needs to get involved, because right now it's kind of like a 2v2 up here. Yeah. 60 seconds left, and President's got Solar, and they're going to just push down over towards Trophy.
The attackers completely ignored this. Now they need to be careful of the retake. Double stack down Trophy, so it shouldn't be too hard to cut down. Campo for the plant, Hunter with a good angle.
Yeah, I don't see a world in which President's going to be able to survive that. If he does push all the way in here towards Trophy, he will die pretty quickly, and he's preoccupied with the play behind the Rio wall. Campo planting the diffuser. And we'll get it successfully unless Reelers finds some kind of angle from above. He finds a red ping. President makes the cross, gets across. Nitro doesn't work. Pre-plays. Hunter swings 3 in the round for Hunter. And speaking of 3, now it's a 3 versus 1. And they will win this round. Reelers not going to be able to salvage this. May as well keep the KD going because it's looking pretty good. 3-0.
Yeah, no impacts available there for the Legion, so
Vertinal
was always going to be tough.
Who was it the other day that got stuck on the box top red cafe? Was that Dev? I think it was.
I don't know.
And he started complaining. I'm like, well, you can't run through a box.
Well, you also can't run through that retake, and Mammoth taking round 3.
And they clean up after a bit of a sloppy second round. Little spin to win. Obviously on Chalet, probably expecting Mammoth on the attack to do well early, and I think they've looked largely good. I mean, this was a nice swing from Hunter. It's always fun when you see two players trying to just run through a choke point like a doorway, and you just get the freebie into their back. And in the end, again, Mammoth have done a really good job in clearing positions. What NQS is doing to try and throw a spanner in the work is sending people back. You know, obviously Kaken dies hallway, President rotates backfields, and it's like, okay, now you got to clear it again. Then they get aggressive, and they obviously push Solar. Nothing really that NQS have done wrong there, but, you know, just credit to Mammoth. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just all happy and giddy with the major qualification for Bliss, but these guys aren't playing that bad. You want to disagree with me? Come on, it's a happy day.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Well, I mean, point out the
No,
things that.
I won't say anything for now. I won't say anything
Okay.
for now.
Okay.
I will largely agree that the quality of this match hasn't been as bad as I probably expected.
Okay, I'll take that. That's a win.
It's been solid. But I mean, there are little things in that last round, right? Like Mammoth not being able to clear reelers. He's pinched half full.
Yeah, I agree with that.
President was given a 15-second window, and the attack didn't take that. Reelers then also up above didn't have impacts to deny, was just randomly kind of spraying. I don't know if there was good information. So it's always hard to say. It's hard to say.
Are you nitpicking a little? Maybe not the realest one, but the others.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But you got to nitpick. 8 teams, 1 goes to the major.
That's
you can't
true.
make mistakes.
Yeah, there's no nitpicking with Team Bliss. They just get it all done. They do it convincingly. They don't allow mistakes. Pluto with the opening kill on Takama. You're already taken off the board. Real is lurking over towards Kitchen. He's got Pluto on the rappel outside. President drops down with him now. Chef Jeff all the way down below as well. Might look to push up West Main. Shields over towards Closet at the moment with Kaken. ADS is there.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a wonderful shot from Kaken. Hello, he'll take that one.
6 and 2 as well. And Kaken has had a couple of standout games in this stage so far. Even when his team has looked poor, he's often looked good himself. But a great nade. Chef Jeff.
He's cooking. The nade.
Literally.
Oh, though, that's an angle that President will favour. Doesn't find the kill, but does a large amount of damage. Still, advantage. Nonetheless. Oh, no! Shant has been put in the bin. The lid's gone on it, and they put it outside on the curb.
Oh! And more pressure with explosives. This side, the side of the defense. Reelers, President. Reelers having a really good game thus far. President, though, yet to post a stat in the kill column. He'll reposition Bathroom, can cut down that rotate. Plank going down.
Press. Does he get a sound cue from Hunter? Well, even if he didn't, he still finds a very quick kill. 1 versus 2. Spray. Well, he's gotten a shot here from behind, I think.
Repel. I mean, you just don't win this as a defender. President 1 HP. Repel, play a sight. A lot to clear, a lot to deal with. No one's got cams. Everyone is just watching Prez at the moment, so he's playing contact. Oh,
wait, you saw him. You saw him, Campo. Oh, now you definitely know where he is. President goes for the drop shot through the wall. He misses that one. Doy and Campo wins it in the end. And they all celebrate, arms in the air for Chef Jeff and Tiltek. And I did miss that chat. Was that a TT in the chat? Missed it. The replay.
I think it was just a smiley face.
Ah, was it? Okay, cool.
When you're happy, you smile, and they were happy.
Didn't know that.
Have you never smiled before?
I certainly have.
You were smiling before when Bliss called.
So Snowwine, not many smiles on the faces of NQS though, down 3-1 in our final game of the day today for the Oceania League. And should clarify, we actually have an entire another playday next week as well. That will be our final playday next week. So even though we've already sent our team to the major, still more games to be played and some pretty big ones. The battle for 4th.
Yep, some big ones, especially at the top of the standings. 4th place critical for that prize pool.
Yeah,
major spot locked in, but there's still a couple of things here or there.
Forget the major, mate. It's about 4th.
Yeah. We've got to find something.
Oh, we will be working overtime next week, as we are right now.
We're here for the ride. That's what we're here to do. And look, I guess the more this game develops, I don't know. I don't think this game has really been that bad.
Oh, he's come around, has he?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
That's good.
I'm getting into it a little bit, but I want to see something from NQS, right? Like,
yeah.
The last couple of rounds, I have been run over a little bit. And some of their extensions and a lot of their vert holds and stuff, they're not really doing a whole lot. Like last round they had like a double stack down below, and I don't really think it had as much value as perhaps they would have wanted. And then Mammoth just exploited that solar. So let's see how this roam game is this time, up above for instance, because that was where Mammoth did look a little bit weak. It was like 2 minutes into the round, they're playing a head-on contact through piano. I'm not convinced that NQS are really roaming it as heavily this time though.
Their initial roam doesn't have to be all that aggressive, though. It's more actually the flank roam later in the rounds. That's what they've been employing. It's found some success. Will it do so here, though, in this round? Snow White. Hunter on the third, mate. Will probably eventually look to open up that snow wall. Jeff will go droning around.
Always a good position to hold inside of dining, that line of sight, covering Fireplace. For Mammoth, though, it's a similar start to the round over towards Library. Applying pressure. Karma, though, down below. Barstock can watch the vault in through the window and has a rotate. Back down Fireplace stairs, but instead of falling back, he instead just creeps forward a little bit and gets timed. But still, this is an off angle that he can continue to hold. And Campo, if he doesn't have information, if Tiltech doesn't have information, he might be in trouble. He did have info, but he doesn't win the fight. But fortunately for Mammoth, Campo will.
Yeah, good entry there from Tiltech to at least give Campo the opportunity to get the trade, but he does eventually lose his life anyway to Reelers, so that's Hardbridge gone. One more still available, though, through the exothermics of Hunter, and he can get towards that main wall. Of course, now you've got the EMP grenade from Chef Jeff on the Thatcher to help out. Fuse still there. One more charge with Pluto. Main breach opened up now. Chef Jeff doesn't find a kill on the breach, and NQS will be very happy with their position. Player up. 4 versus 3. Pluto still above, up on the mezzanine. Wants to probably put some pressure in towards Wine. Not a lot of time, though, in this one remaining. And Real is still on the roam up above. 35 seconds remaining. What is the play here for Mammoth? What are their win conditions? They can't really play into the roam clear anymore. Main breach push and looking for a plant. Probably not going to be that easy. Instead, it's Fireplace Stairs. Offers a different line of attack here. I don't necessarily hate it. You need Hunter to stay alive, though, especially with the diffuser. Default's already been taken out. Pluto makes his move. He finds a kill, surely, on a Realist. No! Stays alive. And President will get an easy one onto Chef Jeff. And yeah, in the end, the attack just sort of petered out a little bit. Really well played from NQS here on the defense of Snow Wine. A site that, as time has gone on, largely has become a lot harder for attackers.
Yeah, clean there from NQS, had the advantage and then played pretty smart at the end there. They forced Mammoth to try and go deep in towards side itself, not feeling comfortable going for the plant. Rightly so. I think Mammoth themselves in the late round probably went for one of the best plays available, but when you're playing so deep into the round and you don't have the best of reads on site, it's always going to be an uphill battle. But we wanted a response from NQS. That's exactly what we got. And looking at the replays, Karma droned out. Tiltech there probably just not playing correctly in terms of distance.
Well, he's
drone.
watching Barstock.
Yeah, but he's too close to the drone because if half wall isn't clear, and in this instance it wasn't. By the time he gets the call, it's too late. By the time it gets called, by the time it goes to him,
the drone's pointless at that point.
At the 20 milliseconds of ping, of course.
The drone is pretty much essentially pointless.
Yeah,
you may as well not even have it
if he's not playing off it like that. Yeah.
So 3-2 scoreline now. Mammoth looking to close this one out, looking for that 4-2 half.
5 seconds left before insertion.
And we head to Bar Games to close this one out. Site that you reckon has sort of fallen out of favor, guys. We were chatting about it a little bit off air before as we came into it.
Do you want to explain why, or would you like me to?
Well, you are the color, and you did explain it to me, so why not explain it to everyone else?
Okay. Well, as you mentioned, Bar has fallen out of fashion a little bit, and if we go back to when Chalet was first reworked, it came back into the comp pool. Typically, we saw that double deployable shield setup, one top library, one mez. You could lean into Wamai and or Jaeger to cover those positions. It made it a little bit more tricky. Now, typically, we only see the one shield top library, and that's what we're seeing this time. Outside of that, attackers found some really effective... Oh, we're seeing both. So, I mean, they're going back to the old school. They go back old school.
Look what else we're seeing.
And Grim.
Grim!
What the hell?
Well, we'll see if Grim can have any success here.
And the other point to that is, right, library teams found out really good ways to exploit that, get control. Once you have that control, you can just repel. You can't retake up a ball for the defense, so it's very hard in the post.
And there's not a lot to fall back to as well for
and we're even seeing the old Mav trick.
Wow. What
we have entered a wormhole.
Wormhole that Grim has also...
Plus Grim. Grim is like the main character. He can just do what he wants.
Yeah. He's the one that's gone through the wormhole back in time. Oh, Tiltech doesn't win that one. He's just lost out, yeah. And he went for a reswing, and Realist was watching. Oh, okay, Real is 9-2, having a good game right now on the Warden, finds 2. And that will probably make life very difficult now for Mammoth. They lose the Maverick, lose the hard breaches. Yeah, kind of already did his job, opened up the sight lines in towards Bartstock.
Grim's still alive, though. Big win.
What are we
going
going to get out of Hunter?
Big win condition.
Not a lot.
You
Oh,
wouldn't
here we
think
go.
so. Might be able to cover himself.
Hive
with the plant,
launches
though.
go out.
Or not.
Doing so much right now. Oh, yeah. Go Grim. Well, you know what? It's looking grim now for Mammoth.
Oh god.
That had to come out.
That was shit.
It was deserved.
That was bad.
It was deserved. You picked Grim. Well, the round's going to be Grim.
Box position, still held library, Pluto, 2 nades still in hand. So I don't know what really the win condition is here for Mammoth. They haven't tried to clear up above.
2 disconnects and then 2 ones.
Yeah, well, you don't clear above. You go for garage. I mean, they get the opening kill, but then, like, what's their plan from there? I don't think they had one.
No.
Maybe, like, they're...
Well, look at their bloody operator
like,
lineup. What is that?
They're, like, relying on Grim to facilitate half-wall plant without having above control and hoping that they get the information for the trades or something.
Blocking off a cross between bar games. I think maybe one bar. I don't know. Like, I was very much happy-go-lucky to start that half, and now I'm sour. Now I'm an old grumpy man.
You've become aware.
Thank you, Grim.
You've become aware. You've turned into me.
Thank you, Hunter. Well, that certainly... And to be fair, you know, breaking it down now in a more meta way, 3-3, that's not a good enough scoreline, I think, here in Chalet. I think NQS are going to get back into this. The way that Realers has been playing, you've got Kaken and his return to form. I think that they will thrive here on the attack of Chalet.
Okay.
And they're not going to pick Grim.
Poor Grim. Imagine coming in and you just get made fun of.
Yeah, I mean,
it
well,
would suck.
be better. Don't be trash.
He's trying his best.
We'll try harder.
Oh well. Well, 3-3. Look, I'm not so convinced it's going to swing either way. It's difficult to get a read on this game because it has been quite back and forth and unpredictable, and it's not really following some of the conventions that have been established on Chalet, right? We're seeing these weird kind of plays around the map with some of these entries and trades like basement in the last round, and then we're seeing like the defense setting up in quite prehistoric ways that, again, you wouldn't be anticipating. So it's been a little bit of a strange old game, but these two keeping it entertaining. Chef Jeff on a roam, dining defense. He'll start off in library, and we'll see how NQS go about trying to clear out this position. They head it forward with the drone. We'll see how Chef Jeff reacts. Well, he goes the conservative route, and he'll just drop straight down.
Oh, the beauty of the Oryx here as well is it depends on how far he wants to sort of roam away from this. Maybe you just hold bar stock, get a bit of intel. Eventually they go back up the hatch and then push him through library. But he really does just sort of really rotate off this. Maybe towards library stairs might be where he wants to get a bit of a peek. Peek he does. Still applicable as well if he wants to sort of just lurk back into games and then eventually up the hatch and through library. But so, I mean, that's the power of the Oryx in the way that you can sort of just flank and roam around the map. That's why it's always a big kill if you can get the Oryx off the board early. But otherwise, they've now been able to get through library into mezzanine, and they'll look to open up this office wall.
Bomb located by attacker.
Drones are plenty here for the attack. So no real shortage of information, and that'll be important in dealing with some of these roamers like Chef Jeff down below.
Well, no drone on this though, right? So they've got the drone for fireplace stairs to see if anyone's going to push up and then in and look towards mezzanine, but
This is going to have to be a sharp shot.
they wouldn't have this on Chef Jeff right now in storage.
It's a tight window, though. You'll need to react perfectly to the vault.
It's not even that. He himself can obviously get up through the hatch, and they
Yeah.
won't see him there.
Yeah, maybe. Doesn't really phase NQS too much, though. Double Selma, dining wall. And they get the first pick, but Prez responds. Tiltech as well. Who's holding up above. He gets aggressive, and he swings.
Oh, Tilty.
Well, I thought he'd get punished. Eventually is by Realers, but unfortunately damage up above already done.
Really solid defense there from Mammoth. NQS lucky that they were able to at least get Tiltech there on the run back over towards Trophy Stairs. Get that kill, at least brings it back 2 versus 3. And now you can just let Realers and Cake and cook. They were the 2 big win conditions I said here for the attack of NQS, and they are the last 2 conditions now in this 7th round. Solar floor opened up.
Where's Chef Jeff? Is he lurking somewhere?
He's got to still be the southern side, I'm assuming. He is.
Ooh. Ready and waiting.
Tucked in nicely for any pressure over towards dining. But it is coming trophy side. Hunter finds the initial kill onto Cake, and that's the round. That's GG. That'll be 4-3 now for Mammoth, and a really solid start to their defensive half.
Oh!
Spin to win.
Jesus. That made me feel sick. He does it every time.
Well, they don't win often, so we don't see it often.
Well, I mean, the numbers don't lie, right? If you had to guess, what was their round diff heading into this game?
For
Mammoth.
minus 24.
Oh, you already knew. Shit.
I already knew.
You are that guy.
Minus 18 as well for NQS. Don't ask me the team above them. Wouldn't have a clue.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, cool. Moving on.
You ask, I answer.
Yeah. Perfect.
You didn't say please though, so next time, manners.
Right, manners, sorry. So, good start though for Mammoth. And we will head to Bar Games in the 8th round. They don't go Snow Wine. How do they look to employ this? Are we prehistoric times? We might be, because I see double shield. And if I see double shield, are we going to get one mezzanine? No, we're actually going to set it a little bit different here.
What?
Pressure over towards Piano. And I'm assuming they're going to, like, what, take over control of Office?
Did they let
Is this an Office extension?
Did they let Tiltec put down more shields? We saw that one bot square yesterday on Bank. He's been taken away from the shield license though. He doesn't have one this time. Just the BPC.
Well, we haven't seen an Office extension probably for some time.
Have you ever seen one?
I have, yes.
Really?
Yeah, when Shelly first came back in, there were teams that experimented with an Office extension.
Your memory's better than mine.
Didn't work.
So that's why they don't do it anymore.
Evidently why we don't see it that often. But hey, to be fair, I don't hate it now in probably this newer meta, because it does kind of give you a little bit more room to fall back. If you create the pressure a little bit more forward, keeping control of Office, making sure Piano doesn't get taken, force them to clear those positions, you can then fall back a bit, say library stairs, back down towards site. We'll see how it plays out.
I just want to see it. I just want, yeah,
I'm very curious.
Complete curiosity. Because surely NQS haven't seen this in a long time either. They're the ones tasked with dealing with it. Good luck in play. Locking down dining hallway. Let's see. Tiltec playing the shield. Cross Chef Jeff Office. They're doing a bit of damage here. Chef Jeff. Oh, sees the elbow. The nade. Here's the sound cue, and oh, he'll just fall back.
And only the one hard breacher as well in Sean. So now you've got to suddenly think about your X-Kara usage, how you want to open things up. What does this do sort of for sightlines? Because if you open up that Office wall, for example, in towards bedroom, and this shield is still here with Chef Jeff, he can kind of peek in towards there and get a long angle. And that's exactly what's kind of happened here. So shield has to get taken down. You got the ADSs. But then, if you're using all that utility, you've still got the shield top library eventually too.
I mean, and Mammoth have played it well to their credit. They've fallen back. No one's died. They have the advantage now. They should be favored in this final minute. And we'll see how they do go about dealing with this top library shield. No Flores, but 2 nades, 4 nades are available. So Tiltec needs to be very, very vigilant in this position.
And now, when you think about it, right, 53 seconds left, it's still a pretty stock standard hold here for Mammoth defensively, but time's a factor all of a sudden. Whereas usually this kind of site, the pressure at this point is maybe a minute 15, minute 20. And Tiltec now gets the opening kill onto hard breacher of Shond. No X-Car is available. Nade, that's going to miss Pluto. That's a missed nade. That should have been able to block out this position and force Pluto away, either down the hatch or somewhere else. Instead, now Pluto gets to just sit here for free. 30 seconds left. NQS, they're in a real world of hurt here. And Pluto gets the kill because of it. And there was the drop down as well from Karma going, I think, maybe through mud. They're scrambling. They're completely scrambling.
Yeah, they don't know how to deal with this setup. That's the issue. NQS not able to formulate a plan in time. And it's a flawless round. A flawless Office extension, Jake.
Tactical timeout. Dev, were you watching? One for the rank stack. Office extension, Chalet.
He did see it. He did see it.
He did see it. Thumbs up.
We'll add it to the
We'll add it to the...
Oh, you've just given away our strats. All the people that...
Oh, no.
All the people that Q-snipe us because we're freeload.
Well, realistically, you break it down, though, what obviously should NQS be doing there? Did they take too much time?
Well, two bad nades here in
yeah,
library.
that didn't help.
We then saw Karma drop down when he could have just jumped double and gone for the trade. But the issue's backtrack further than that. It took him so long to deal with that Office extension. It took a long time for that line of sight to be established by the Habana. The shield-facing Piano as well was left standing for a while. Then the one over towards top library, which should have been comparatively much easier to clear. Again, left standing, even though there were 4 nades still available at that point. It's just little checkpoints that typically you wouldn't expect from the attack that made NQS scramble.
Yep.
A little bit.
Yep, and then time. Time becomes a factor that's on the side of Mammoth there. That was really, really well played from them. 5-3 scoreline. Out the back of this tactical timeout, though. And QS will be looking to respond. And we head to Snowwine for this 9th round. Final game of the night for the Oceania League. For those either just tuning in, popping in to see what's going on, Bliss qualified for the major in our previous game.
Spoiler alert.
Oh. But it's literally already happened, and it was live, and everyone was watching, and it's posted everywhere.
That is true.
So,
Sorry.
too bad? Sorry?
I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Either way, moving forward, final game of the night, and Mammoth looking for their first win.
And this
QS also looking for their first win.
and this game is not for the major. Let's just
This game is also not for the major.
no.
No.
There's only one spot.
We only get one spot in Oceania, and it's probably...
Does that mean there's only one spot for casters as well?
most likely, yes.
I guess Manic's going
And I would be putting Manic in that slot.
I would. If it was up to me.
Over Dev and Mandy.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Goes Manic, then Mandy, then Dev, then you, then me.
Oh, you'd put...
Sorry, no, Sky, then me. Sky casts.
Shout out to Sky on the
On the
Observer
Ob 6?
6. Give us a spin. Give us a spin.
Hey! What was that?
That wasn't really a spin.
That was like a half turn, then back.
Just a flick.
Yeah, a little flick.
Whoa.
Oh, shot, camper. That was over towards Logs outside West Main. Not bad. A little bit of damage to the Karma. Early contact on a Snowwine roam. Not really too surprised by that.
Yeah, we'll see how dedicated Hunter will be to this extension. Karma now over towards Piano Falcony, just applying more pressure, just chipping away at this territory up above for the defense. Hunter will then fall back to Tiltec. They'll link up with Solar, a trade elsewhere.
Literally.
Literally 1-for-1. The mute for the Habana. You'd argue maybe the defense edging out on that one, but any advantage now lost as Reelers able to drop Tiltec.
I do like the Jackal pick here from Reelers. Rhinox Scanner able to help really deal with that roam on Snowwine. Very, very strong. Mud control for Karma. And then eventually you would imagine bot library in towards blue. 90 seconds left in the round. NQS with a man advantage, but they're down a couple of rounds. Pressure on them to fight back. Decent little prize pool differential between last and second last for these two teams searching for their first wins. And there is that pride factor as well at play. Don't want to end the season winless. And that could very much be a reality. Ooh. You saw the player. Hunt saw him, but obviously couldn't react. And then there was another one main entrance as well who got pinged out. Hunter feeling like he's maybe just going to fall back a little bit here. Or at least reposition. Wants to peek. But doesn't. Opts to go down West Main stairs and back towards site. Reelers can clear. One more scan available with the Inox scanner. Kagan finds the kill onto Campo. So the defense of Mammoth has just been shredded here on the roam by NQS. Dropped down from Reelers. And he somehow won that one. Okay, this one's not over yet. It's not going to be an easy one for Mammoth to close this out. 5-4 is now the score.
Yeah, and I like the way they dealt with the roamers. They bring the Jackal, just aids in feeding a little bit more information. They then did a good job cutting off Tiltec, who was extended out towards Solar. So a lot of that ground and territory on that second floor roam was actually dealt with quite effectively there from NQS. And then they translated that control to first floor. Things like Dining Hatch, applying pressure down towards Wine, and other positions then becoming increasingly difficult to hold at the man disadvantage. And just as it feels like maybe Mammoth can begin to run away a little bit in this match, NQS show that they're willing to really tough it out. And I guess that's the story for both of these teams, having to tough out what has been somewhat of a grueling stage.
Somewhat. But a very grueling stage.
I was putting it lightly.
Ah, you were just trying to go easy on them.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that. That's nice of you guys. If only you could be as nice to me in our ranked games.
Not happening.
Definitely not happening. 5-4, 10th round. Can Mammoth get that match point? Can they get closer to their first win of the season? Snowwine did not work out. They do not repeat. Kitchen Dining opens up, and they'll be looking to get said match point. Chef Jeff over towards Barstock. Oryx Roam last time, probably not that successful.
Yeah.
Didn't matter though in that particular round.
It's been mixed. It's been a little bit inconsistent, and that can just be Oryx. All it takes is like one pre-placed or one drone here or there, and you can completely screw your own. And there's not too much you can do about it. So we'll see how it goes this time.
If they win this round, do you go back bar games? Do you do the opposite extension again?
Mammoth.
Yeah.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing it because I don't think NQS didn't really know what to do about it.
I mean, where else do you go? Obviously, Snow Wine's there, but you just lost that pretty convincingly. And then if you go bar games, at that point, do you just not do the extension? You've already done it. You've already brought it out. You may as well do it again. It worked. So we'll see what happens, though, of course, all determined based on this 10th round. Solar hard breach through Shont on the Thermite. They're in the Brava. Those clutch drones. Obviously, good to hack those defaults. And Shont will be able to make this whole work over towards office wall. Opens this up for them in terms of vert control above dining.
Well, the Brava's in play. Not entirely sure how much of an impact it has had in this round, and that's been a discussion point throughout the stage, at least here locally in OCE. The Brava has seemingly been a fringe pick at best.
Been average.
And when selected, yeah, it hasn't been that great. But maybe a couple of defaults have been hacked. Not entirely sure. Breach has been open, though. Can say that with certainty. And there's pressure up above. So this initial setup from NQS, really quite solid, very textbook.
In saying that, no pressure from Mammoth on that side of the field, right? Like, no real denial over towards mezzanine, and the office half wall has been given up, and then ultimately dining has been given. So you're at a position where you think, okay, well, if Mammoth are happy to give all of this up, well, what have they kind of got? And they'll have the long-range sight, you would imagine, over towards, say, Trophy looking towards dining. They got Vert.
Is anyone pressuring this from the attack? Tiltek has just got free real estate up above now. And Chef Jeff is close by as well.
Feels like they did a whole lot of nothing there for a while. That's a free kill for Chef Jeff. There is actually one down below, though. That's going to be an interesting kill. Reelers on the roam, down below. Tiltek, though, still's got best position. And he finds the kill onto Karma. That was the fight that needed to be won, actually, more than even the one down below with Reelers.
It's on Reelers now. He needs to unlock the round over towards West Main because the players cannot enter breach.
10 seconds left. No one with the diffuser yet. President will pick it up. Hunter will stop that West Main push, though, and it will be match point now for Mammoth. They'll go 6-4 up here. Time will run out for President. He loses his life anyway to Pluto. Match point, Mammoth searching for their first win under their new organization. It's been a long-awaited result, but it might just be here. 6-4, match point for Mammoth.
And I said it was a textbook setup from NQS, right? But the one thing that hinged and I didn't catch at the time is no one's holding above. Like, no one is pressuring Tiltek and preventing him from retaking that position. It also means that Chef Jeff wasn't under vert pressure. He played close breach. So that's 2 players unaccounted for. Then they had to go for the Hail Mary play. Reelers could have unlocked the round, potentially even the jump through trophy as well. Neither land. Leaves in the 1v3. Mammoth. Well, they doubled their points in the standings, so that's cool.
That is true.
And they might be able to quadruple them.
Both of these two teams having one OT loss coming into this game at this point of the stage. So they both had 1 point. They both were at least not on donuts, which is really nice at the very least when it's all said and done. We're not going to have a team that went absolutely 0-7. The old James Bond 007. At the very least for NQS, if they do lose this 1 point, but yeah, they'll be very disappointed. And when you look at the team on paper, firstly, Reelers, by the way, 15-5 has popped off in this game. Kaken has had a renaissance after a slow start, a slow burn at the start of the stage. President, a lot of experience, and Shot and Karma are no pushovers. It's sometimes you just have teams that get put together and they just, for whatever reason, don't click. They don't work. They don't synergize. And I think it might be that case here for NQS.
Do we see these teams, though, bottom half of the standings, again next stage?
It's a long time. That's the thing. As Core 5, it's hard to argue that the team in last makes 0 changes. And that's not like a slight at anyone in particular. I'm not looking at an individual here. I think it's a team issue. As Campo gets there, shot. Here we go. It's going to be a rush. Dimaro loses their life straight away. Tiltek will fall, but it is the defense that will not. They will stand strong. Now 4 versus 2. The glass, big window. Reelers on the rappel, up towards looking into library. As the last 2 remaining. Adrenal Surge was activated. But from here, it's virtually impossible, you would imagine. And again, it is going to fall on the shoulders of Realers and Kaken to unlock the round for NQS. For Mammoth, they don't have to do anything now.
No nades for Kakens. They can't even clear out this corner position inside of Library. Other players just need to make sure they don't expose themselves in the 4 versus 2. If they give the attack ones, it is winnable for NQS, but the execute, well, it will be a challenge. Chef Jeff falls. That's A1. Credit to Realers. He's had a really solid game. Kaken now needs to also join in on the fun.
Oh, he's going to peek this, right? He's going to just...
No, he's being watched.
Oh.
Sound.
Oh, the timing. Could have held that line. Probably would have got the kill. Player Library. Stairs. Kaken. This is a very, very interesting position to be holding at current. Real is outside big window, and Chef Jaff will get the kill. An easy one in the back of Kaken. And it's just the mezzanine double window. That's the entry point here for Realers. 1 minute left in a 1 versus 4 for NQS. It's yet another result where they're in the L column. But for Mammoth Guz, a long-awaited first win under this organization. It's honestly been brewing. After their result against Wildcard, they have been improving. There has been those signs, and they will get their reward now by collecting all 3 points. Unless Realers just absolutely goes sicko mode here. No, he won't. Denied. GG's in chat, and for Mammoth, it is their first win of the Oceania League for 2023.
They continue to fight. They'll be rewarded. They'll now be lifted out of last position. Not confirmed. We'll have to wait and see for the final
Well,
play
there's
there.
another week. That's the thing.
Still
Temporary,
a battle.
though.
Still
Temporary.
a battle for